Hey, what's up guys? Gary Walker here with liveanabolic.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get more benefits out of your bicep work. Basically, what I'm going to show you how to do is activate your biceps, turn them on, prime them, getting them ready for all of your curl work, all right? Your arm curls. Every time you're working biceps, you want to make sure that your biceps are doing all the work and you're not using momentum. You're not using wasted reps and wasted sets. So when you're working your biceps, you want to be working your biceps. That being said, I'm going to show you some of the things, some of the steps you can take, some of the things to focus on to make sure you're maximizing your bicep work. First thing I'm going to give you is visualization, all right? Sounds corny, but really visualize your bicep doing all of the work. When you're doing biceps, you want to make sure your bicep is bringing the weight up and not your shoulders, not your hips. Just keep your shoulders nice and square, pinned back, and all biceps, all right? Couple things to focus on also, it's part of the visualization, is I like to imagine my wrist curling the weight up, not the hands. You'll notice people squeeze the crap out of the dumbbells, and at the top of the movement, they'll even flex their wrist slightly. If you've seen any of my other videos about wrist pain, then that's one of the main causes of wrist pain. So you don't want to use those wrist flexors at the top when you're working biceps. It's actually better to use those extensors a little bit. Extend on the way up, and that's actually okay. You either want to keep it completely locked and neutral or slight extension on the curl. That's going to help protect your wrist, but also help eliminate some of that other secondary movements that you're going to be using. Primarily, you should be focused on biceps. All right, a couple other key things. I like to, let's see if you can see me here sitting down. I like to start one side at a time. I'll do a unilateral bicep curl just to get my mind into each bicep. So again, I'm visualizing basically my wrist pulling and my wrist trying to touch my shoulder at the top. Physically, that's impossible. Hopefully it is if you got any bicep development. Shouldn't be able to allow your wrist shouldn't be able to touch your shoulders. But that's your mental image that you're creating. That's going to help you get that really hard contraction. Also, the extreme supination. Basically, this pinky needs to rotate as hard as possible, as high over this thumb as possible. That's going to help with maximum contraction at the top as well. So I like to start really, really light. I will start on a seated curl here. Keep my torso locked in. Keep your lower back flat as well. Don't get your shoulders up here and allow your lower back to round. Keep it flat, and I'll pull my elbows back slightly behind this pad. The pad I'm leaning against, I really want to get my shoulders back. So I'll get the elbow back there, get that extreme supinated grip here, and a nice slow contraction. Here's the other thing I want to point out. I'm only using 15 pounds. Use 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, depending on your arm strength. However, the thing to focus on, I want you to do 3 sets of 10-second holds in the maximum contracted position. All right, that's really going to get you firing. So I'm back here, supination, and I'm going to hold it. Really focus on getting this wrist as far back as possible. If you notice, my shoulder's still pinned back. It's not forward and dip down. 1004, 1005, 1006. You're going to do 10 seconds. Bring it down nice and slow. Good stretch. Same thing again. Really hold that contraction up here. All right. And really tight contraction. And I want you to make sure to see, let me turn slightly. You'll notice gravity is still pulling down on this dumbbell. That's what you want. You don't want it to be like this, because then you're losing some of the tension. You're losing some of that contraction because now you're just basically resting the weight. If your elbows are back, like I'm telling you behind that pad, then gravity is still constantly pulling down on this dumbbell. All right, 10 seconds. You're gonna bring it up, a nice stretch, bring it down, and then we're gonna do one more. Another 10-second hold in the maximum supinated contraction position. Key point, I don't know if you know pronation and supination. Basically, I worked a long time ago with somebody that showed me that if you're getting soup out of a pot and you're scooping it out, that's supination. All right, I've always remembered it, something that simple. So supination is that way, pronation is opposite. So when I'm saying extremely supinated, as far back as you can. Very lightweight, really focus on that contraction. And then you're gonna get the other side, do the same thing on the other side. Another thing, if you're still having trouble feeling the bicep working, another key point I like to focus on, another cue I like to do is touch your bicep. Make sure it's constantly contracted. Down here, all right? When you're up here, you're flexing. You're not just holding the weight. Like I said, you're flexing that bicep as hard as possible. And if you're feeling it with this opposite hand, you'll know if it relaxes. If it relaxes, tense it up again. Just tense it as hard as possible. Even close your eyes if you have to. I utilize such a strong mind-muscle connection with a lot of things. I tend to close my eyes a lot. But again, I've been doing this a long time. All right. After you've done this initially, your 3 10-second holds with each side, you're going to notice your biceps, your mind's connected to them a little bit more. If you need a little bit more work, another thing I will do, I would go from the 15s to the 20s, and then just a little bit step up in weight. And another thing to focus on, I love explosive contractions. Most everything I do, I use explosive concentric contractions, all right? I'll take the eccentric slow sometimes, but I love working explosively. Something I learned a long time ago, and it's done well with all my athletes, is you want to make sure you're working explosive to become explosive. Explosive muscle looks better, so keep that in mind. Athletes that are explosive have amazing looking bodies. So that's how I like to work. It's how I've always worked. So that being said, what we're going to do is get locked in, and we're going to do a 1-second concentric contraction. Explode it, all right? Hold this for 5 seconds. 1001, you're holding not just the weight, but you're holding that contraction, squeezing as hard as possible. 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, go into a 3-second, 1001, 1002, 1003, stretch, another explosive, and then hold 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1001, 1002, 1003. Hopefully that makes sense. By doing this kind of stuff, it's going to help you develop a lot stronger mind-muscle connection with your biceps. And that's one of those muscles that a lot of people shut down, they turn off. They get so enamored with lifting heavy weight. Man, I've seen people go in there and repping out weight with 60, 70-pound dumbbells. I don't even do that, and I've been working out 30 years. I don't try to do that. First of all, it's going to kill your joints, all right? Then you're swinging the weight. You're taking all of that momentum and shifting the weight off of the muscle that you're supposed to be working and building. So you're actually doing yourself a disservice. To build muscle, you really want to focus on working that muscle really hard. So that's eliminating your shoulders, eliminating your hips, all of that when you're doing bicep work, and just really honing in on that mind-muscle connection. That's going to be key. So again, visualization to get started, really light weight, and isometric holds with light weight in the maximum position, contracted position. So just focus on doing those things. Close your eyes if you have to, touch the muscle you're working if you have to. Do some of those things, and then before long, you're going to start really getting connected to your biceps. So when you get into your actual bicep training, dumbbells, barbells, whatever you're utilizing, man, your biceps are going to be on fire because they're going to be doing all of the work. But that's the first thing you got to do, is break yourself of bad habits. Check your ego out at the door and just start really focusing on getting a weight that you can control, a weight that you can utilize without hurting your joints, but still get extreme muscular tension. And that's where those isometric holds come in, and you're going to get tremendous benefits. But guys, if you have any questions about any of this stuff, let me know. Ask in the comment section, and we'll answer those questions. But also, if there's any other videos you want us to do, anything specific, then shoot that in the comment section too, man. We're always looking for good ideas, things that you really want to learn about and want to know, because I want to help you. I want you to benefit from all the stuff I'm telling you. Also, we've got 2 tremendous programs out there. My Anabolic Arms program, this is perfect for that. I've got some activation techniques in there that's going to help you. They're a little bit different. I've got tremendous arm workouts, man. It's a 6-week program designed to really blow your arms up, get really good growth gains in your arms, biceps, triceps, forearms, grip strength. We put it all in there. So it's a tremendous program. And check it out if you haven't already done so. You can get more information in the description box. There's a link there that will take you to the Anabolic Arms program. But other than that, guys, man, put this to use, try it out, and come back and let me know what you thought about it. And if you got any questions about any of it, I get it. Some of it may seem a little confusing, especially if it's new to you. You haven't done any of this stuff before. Then I don't mind clarifying anything. So come back, comment, and I'll provide you with some clarification. But man, that's all I got. Get busy, get after it, and God bless.